All right.
Booyah.
Hi, you guys. Welcome. Go live. Go live. I'm going to adjust my headphones so these things are out of my face as soon as we get you on.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. Boom. Gotta shift the view. Let's see if this even works. That's what I was going to use. I can't use. So, y'all going to be on the slight gangster lean. Hey. But also, join us on Facebook or YouTube because that's where we really want you to be anyway. We really
Bet.
don't want you to be on Instagram. We just hop on Instagram so you know that we're on. But we want you to go to the link in our bio and join us on Facebook or IG.
On
Thank you.
YouTube.
I mean,
You
yes,
on
off of
YouTube.
IG and onto
On
Facebook
and
or
subscribe
YouTube.
on YouTube.
And subscribe.
For sure. Well, let's get it started like only we can.
Wait, as soon as I put some lip on.
Like they not already watching this.
Oh, it's not like I'm
Uh,
trying to hide. I'm just saying before we
before we get
before we
started.
roll. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Hunter Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire, tech diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the crossroads where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you. Hey.
So we got the tech diva and her lip.
Right. That's right. That's right.
How you feeling?
I've been better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Me too.
tired. It's just so many things going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, the month is almost over. I have a couple of big things going on this week, plus
Mm-hmm.
um, having to switch locations again
Mm.
for a couple of days. So
Yeah.
that always comes with its own brand of excitement.
Right.
But, good week been spending more time with the Lord
Mm-hmm.
to start the year and getting some good direction and just good time, just fellowshipping. So on that end, everything's really good.
Gotcha.
But I've also been up really, really late, like
Mm-hmm.
this whole month. So went to Hawaii at the top of the year, of course. So they are 2 hours before, yeah, 2 hours before Pacific time, 3 hours before where I currently live. So
And was that
adjusting to that.
4 hours from Central, right?
Right. So, yeah, it was an adjustment. So, needless to say, I go to sleep at ungodly hours here because
Mm-hmm.
it's still, kind of nighttime there. And I wake up at crazy, insane late morning hours here because it's still really morning, early morning there. So I gotta shake up out of that. I mean, thankfully I can,
Right.
but it's not what I want to do. So
Right. No, I can dig. I've been
there's
trying
that.
to go to bed early lately. I've been like my new goal is 9 o'clock. I mean,
Mm,
I won't meet that goal tonight, but not on the hour. But sometimes I'm like, what the hell am I still up for?
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to get that good sleep, up my workout, so that I can get that good sleep to wake up looking like the God bod.
Okay.
'Cause you know what I'm saying? It ain't working because I've been like my eating's been iffy though. Like one part of the day I'm eating good, and then the next part it's like, hey, but you ate good earlier, so
That's
so
hilarious.
yeah,
That's
that's
hilarious.
But how was Hawaii?
Hawaii was fantastic. Hawaii
Mm.
is like an experience. Like I would love to be there right now, as a matter of fact.
That look on your face, you was still in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, really, because you have to transport yourself there in your mind.
Right, right.
Hashtag Boo bought us some Hawaiian Breeze air freshener today, just so we could
so you can remember.
Transport ourselves
I don't know
back.
if it's the same, but yeah, that's first of all, that's hilarious.
Look,
But
you
there's
gotta
been a
do what you
lot.
gotta do.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world.
Well, before we get to that, I mean, how was your birthday? We talked to
I
Wally, but that was weeks ago. Your
I
birthday was
did
just.
have a birthday. I did get older since we last talked to everybody. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to so on my birthday, I did a whole lot of nothing. Well, I got up and took myself to breakfast, and then I went and bought me some crab legs so I could make them for dinner. And then I just chilled. Well, no, Thursday I didn't. I was literally on the phone all day,
Mm.
answering calls and texts for people wishing me happy birthday. So that there wasn't much rush there. Friday I
I
rested,
still didn't finish doing that.
and then
It's really bad.
I need to send some thank yous. But Saturday, my friends planned a little something and kidnapped me,
Oh,
um,
friends.
and took me to my boy's cigar lounge, and we had cigars and drink and cake. They bought me a cake. And we chilled out and had a good time. And I was so old there. I was like,
You was ready to go to sleep?
yeah, I was faded because I had done a detox like the week before. So the alcohol hit different when your system is flushed out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was tired, I was drunk, and literally like it's a small place, in relation to the club. So everybody in the place sees it's your birthday. So people are sending me drinks. The
Like,
people that the people that we with is buying me, and then they acting like we in our 20s, like, fuck that, it's your birthday. Drink this shit, drink this shit. So I'm like, no.
I
So I'm
posted on your page, like, please don't let this be like the last time you told me, like, have fun,
oh yeah,
but
nah.
you need to
Listen,
have a
I was not.
monitor. Make sure.
Hey, I was in there faking shots, so everybody's like, "Oh, you're like, hey," toasting and shit. And I'm like, "Hey," and so
Well, you gotta protect yourself on your birthday.
because I knew where this was going, and I love having a drink and getting my little buzz and chill, but I don't like being fucked up. Like that's not
Mhm.
fun.
It's not. It's not
Because
good. It's not fun
you
time.
uncomfortable, people taking pictures of you niggas, and people want to. Why is it? Maybe this is dudes, but when you fucked up, dudes always want to move you, like, oh nigga, you fucked up, and I'm like, that's not
Don't
better.
shake
Like,
me.
stop touching me, and then I get angry, like, hey, get off me, nigga. So I was avoiding that. I
Mhm.
didn't get there. Um, and so they was talking about like going to breakfast after, like, hey, we're gonna go to IHOP, have some pancakes and Denny's or something like that. No, I want to go to
Mhm.
I want to go to bed.
Go to bed. Right. I want you to leave me alone.
Right. And then Sunday we was all trying to recover.
Mm.
So yeah.
Oh, these are the after 40
Mm.
birthdays. They're just.
But we had a good time and I'm thankful for my friends.
Shout out to the local friends that
Right.
are taking care of him, since those of us who are not local,
Right. But
we appreciate you.
I got a special birthday shout out.
Mm.
Today is my little, not my baby sister, my little sister's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
So
Toya.
happy birthday, Toya Danielle.
Well, I ain't gonna put
Her,
all your business out there.
yeah, I didn't say the whole first name and I didn't say your last name, but
Oh,
you know. But her turning 37. And
yeah.
that's strange to say out loud. Like my little sister is 37. That make me
Mine's
feel old.
35.
Yeah, that made me feel old.
Well,
I don't know. But she should be on here at some point. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we'll make sure to shout you out again before we
right.
wrap up.
She says she loves it live because she gets to interact. And for those who watching, drop your comments, interact with us. For those who are still over there on IG, switch over to YouTube. That's where the real show is going on. Drop your comments, interact with us, and make sure that you are subscribing. And add other
Mhm.
people too. Share the link, add other people, and make sure they subscribe too, so you can get all the alerts and everything else. But while we're into making announcements, why don't we go ahead and pay them bills and knock that out on the
Okay.
early side of the show?
That's
So
always
y'all,
nice.
yeah. As always, the Crossroads Podcast is brought to you by the House of 334.
It's the house, but I'm taking off my nails because I'm getting them done tomorrow.
So I'll do
Because
it for it's the house.
so they're out of frame right
For
now.
those who know the show, it's the house.
It's the house. Gotta do
For
double
your
duty.
business branding and copyright needs, go to houseup334.com. It is black owned, it is woman owned, it is black woman owned, and it is amazing. Also brought to you by the Crossroads Podcast. For those of you who are on IG, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We are on a mission to get to 10,000 followers, y'all, and we can't do that without you. So make sure that you're scrolling down, subscribing to this channel right now. That's youtube.com/the Crossroads, as you see on the screen. And for those who want to donate to the show, we thank you for those who continue to donate. This is a labor of love, but love ain't free. And if you think it is, go tell your landlord that you love them. So we thank you for a little bit. We thank you for a lot of bit. We thank you for it all. And those who continue to support the show to keep this thing going. Boom.
Record timing.
Record timing. Whoever said I can't get my point across quick. Probably everybody that watched the show.
Right. Like, you mean you can do that all the time?
You know, okay, fine. The mission of this show is I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible in making my points.
Y'all heard them. Okay.
And we're going to see how this show go.
All right. Y'all let us hear it in the comments. Do you believe? Say I'm a believer. Or nah.
I don't feel like you got any faith in me right now. I don't know how
I believe you. I believe you. Because, you know, when we had the little 60-second challenge.
I was killing it.
You were doing well. It might be like 70, 75 seconds, but that's still really good.
So I guess what you're saying is I work better with deadlines.
Maybe that's what it is. You know, you gotta be between here and here. So
yeah, Lord knows I got hella deadlines to meet this week at work, so I'm not looking forward to that. Shit, I didn't even get undressed from work. I'm still in my work.
Like, let me just put a hat on.
That's all I did was put a hat on. I'm like, and get my boys the men on.
There you go. You go. Y'all, what's going on? Talk to us. Say something. Say hey in the chat. Over at Instagram, I do see some comments that are going up, but Facebook, YouTube, let us know how you are. You know, maybe it's already a long week for you too. It's only Tuesday, but you know, last week was so long. I think it's spilling over.
Man, it's you know what? Some of these days it's just like running into each other.
I think it's been like that since the pandemic started. It's just one. It's like Groundhog's Day. Like
right. I'm wondering. I saw something. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I think somebody sent me a link saying that Joe lifted the vaccination and mask mandates. Excuse me. For businesses.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, not that everybody was already doing that. I know New York, and there was a lot in LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna say LA was still doing
it. And see, a friend showed me some picture. I have feelings about it. She showed me a picture of this one spot that had a sign up talking about non-vaccinated seating is on the patio. I'm like, if that ain't some Jim Crow ass shit.
Well, I don't understand. Non-vaccinated wear a mask. Vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. First of all, people lie. Second of all, everybody.
But vaccinated, like y'all hear me on this. And again, I'm not anti-vax. I don't take a position either way, but I will say this: vaccinated does not equal negative.
Right.
That's true. And I don't get why we lose that logic. Vaccinated does not equal negative. I have 7 teachers out at my job right now with positive cases. They're all vaccinated.
All vaccinated, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking against the vaccination. We know you can still get it, but it's supposed to help the symptoms. We get it, but you can still get it. You can still spread it. So, and non-vaccinated does not equal positive. Like, it's still samesies, motherfucker. So unless you at the door asking for test results, which like that's what I would be doing. Like, hey, you got your most recent test?
Got that test.
You know, and you know what, to be honest, while I don't support mandatory vaccinations, I fully support mandatory testing. because that's more accurate. Like,
just, I mean, like for everybody or in certain
what
situations?
I don't know. I don't know. I would say like you wouldn't hear me bitch and complain if they mandated COVID testing. Like at work, you got to get tested every week or shit every day for that matter. I don't give a shit because that's what's accurate. That's what's telling you what's going on. It's not your vaccination. I don't know why we're pushing vaccination status. Vaccination is to protect you in case you contract COVID. That's what vaccination does. Like, hey, decrease your chances of extreme symptoms and decrease your chances of death. That it does not say you can't get it. So you can be walking around asymptomatic, all this stuff, and be fully vaccinated and everything else, or non-vaccinated, but we don't know your status. Like your vaccination status is not your COVID status, and we keep like putting them together, and that's just not real life. So if I had to go into work, especially working with kids and families and stuff like that, and they say, well, you have to take a COVID test every day before you go to work, it's irritating to wear a mask every day. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
But if that's doing my part, then cool. I'm with it. You know, because that's what makes the most sense. But
we love it.
Right. I don't know if
well, you know what we say. No, it wasn't. But wear your mask.
Wear your goddamn mask.
You know, socially distant, where it all possible, and wash your nasty hands.
Right. Or like which was Sis Andrew Caldwell say, wear your mask.
Wear your mask.
Wear your max.
Your mask. Like, no K on that. Huh? Just wear your mask. My sister Caldwell. Lord.
Yeah. He like, and stop calling me sis. Right. Let me not be mean, because that's part of the show that we need to talk about.
Right.
About being mean to folks and talking about folks.
That's true. That's actually true. Do you want to talk about that first?
No, I'm not going to talk about that first. What I am going to talk about first.
I am not going to talk about. Okay.
I mean, because that might go. Yeah,
okay.
No. But first thing I did want to bring up is tomorrow is the anniversary, a second anniversary of the death of Kobe Bryant. My favorite basketball player.
My favorite basketball player.
I don't think that. Dang, I kind of feel it now. About to talk about it. Like, I still remember when I found out what I was doing, where I was sitting, and I can't ever like get the image of that picture of him on TMZ like out of my head. It's just the craziest thing. It's just etched in me. Because I couldn't believe it. I remember seeing it come across my screen, and I went to TMZ and I kept hitting refresh. Like, is this a joke? Like, and then I went and looked, like, did I type in the right site? Like, is this a joke site? Is this a satire site? And no. And so then I started turning on to the news outlets, the CNNs and all that other stuff. And then it's like reportedly, but it wasn't confirmed. And then, of course, after a while, it was confirmed. Like, and I just sat right there on my couch and I couldn't stop crying. Yeah. It was like, damn. But so for 3 days, for 3 days straight, I was like, no good. Especially with Kobe being, class of 96. Like we grew up with Kobe, like, and this was like pre-internet and everything else. We were reading about him in the papers, and remember before he was in the league, they was calling him the Dream Team, and the build up to him being in the draft and stuff like that, and then going to prom with Brandy, who's what I'm saying, like,
it's just like my fave.
Yeah, just him being ushered into the league and then into stardom, and then he became LA. And arguably the greatest Laker ever, and then bringing us 5 championships, like that was cold, you know what I'm saying? And then he became like one name. There is no other Kobe that
right. Even though people start naming their kids,
right?
like some kids at Fadams and Fadaz.
For
It
this,
wasn't it with Kobe. It was with
uh-huh.
Kobe.
You remember Kobe?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow.
Kobe and
People are
Jordan.
now, yeah, people are now naming their kids Kobe.
Yeah. And so I mean, of course we heard the name, but like he's one name. When you say Kobe,
Yeah,
you're only talking about, you know what I'm saying, Kobe Bean.
Kobe. Yeah, that's right.
So shout out to Kobe and everything he's done for the world, not just for the city, but just for the world. What he's meant to basketball, what he's meant for the culture, um, the imprint that he left, the Mamba mentality, you know. Um, and who's to say if he were still alive, like, because the Mamba mentality went beyond basketball. Like this
Yeah.
dude was a champion in basketball, and then he went and won a Grammy and an Oscar.
Mhm.
Like you just he just
He's an
wins.
EGOT. He was on his
Right.
way.
Yeah, he was on his way to a Tony. You know what I'm saying?
He was on his
So
way.
oh, well, I don't know what he would have done for an Emmy, but he had two out of the
I'm
four.
sure. Yeah, he could have figured it out. He
I'm
could have
sure.
figured it out. That's the beauty of him and his legacy. Like definitely as a basketball fan and a Laker fan, there's so much appreciation, like you mentioned, for what he did and what he's left us with. I feel like every day on Twitter, somebody's like, on this day, 15 years ago, it's like
He
some
did
crazy
this.
stat. Yeah, some crazy stat when,
Hmm.
tore his rotator cuff and finished the game with his left hand, like
Oh, you saw that
whatever.
clip?
I did. So like there's always something for us to remember, celebrate, where were you when he dropped 81 or where, like all of those things, which I can absolutely remember where I was. But also, like you mentioned, like mama mentality has been so influential, like in my life, my
Mhm,
business life, in particular, and just how you govern yourself, you try, because it
mhm,
really was kind of otherworldly. Like I don't. Even other players, of course, will tell you like Kobe was another animal. We're going to the
right.
club. He's going to the gym. We left the club. He's still at the
Right.
gym. Like,
Still at the gym.
yeah, he's doing what it takes to be the best. And how many people do you come across in your life, whether you know them or whether you get to see them as a fan, that
Mhm,
genuinely want to be the best and put the work in to be the best? Like a lot of times people just want to be the best for notoriety or
mhm,
whatever, but like very rarely do you see the combination of the two. And I think that was
mhm.
why it was so devastating. I also was like in love with Kobe Bryant since I was 15 years old. I had to give it up at a certain point, of course, but
Oh
it
wait, give
hit
up
me.
your love for Kobe Bryant. That
Yes,
that
yes.
wording was. I'm like, when
Well,
did you give it up to Kobe Bryant?
no, no. Well, I didn't give up my love. I had to give up my quest, but
Right.
the love was there. Um, the love was always there and has
Mhm,
been there. So, which is why my phone was ringing off the hook, if you will,
mhm,
when it happened. I was actually on the road. Had gone to LA for the weekend and was, in conversation, just talking. And I'm like, what is happening? People are like, oh my
mhm.
God, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Should I not be okay?
Right.
But because they knew, people
Mhm.
that I went to high school with were calling or on social media, like, looking for, I am Andrea McKee. You all
Right.
right? I was like, yeah, y'all know. And I absolutely was not all right. And
Mhm,
so hashtag boo is actually not a fan,
mhm.
which I can, it's
He
one of
likes the
very
J.
few things about him that I'm just like, I don't understand, but I love
Mhm,
you anyway. Uh, and even he was just like, dang,
mhm.
so he was just trying to like make sure I was okay, but I wasn't.
Right.
And to think about what tomorrow is gonna be, even today, I was just thinking like, dang, 2 years, and the
Mhm.
circumstances around it.
Right.
And like, it's not just like, oh, he died in his sleep, which would have still been very, very sad. But just to
Mhm,
think about the tragedy of it all, and his daughter, and the
mhm,
legacy that would have been like,
mhm. And that the I think the most heart wrenching, gut wrenching, unimaginable part of that is you know that the helicopter is going down,
Yeah.
and you've got your child with you. I can't imagine what those last moments were like. You see what I'm saying? Like as a
Mm-hmm.
parent, like you Kobe was invincible. Like you just said,
Right.
like you watch this man tear a rotator cuff in his shooting arm and said, that's all right, I got another one.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Yeah.
gonna just shoot and finish the game and kill you with the other hand. We watched this dude tear his Achilles.
Yeah.
Like people get carted off with Achilles injuries and carried off the court.
Mm-hmm.
This man stood up, walked to the free throw line on a torn Achilles, shot his two free throws, and then walked off the court
Like, all
and
right,
exited the
I'll see
game.
y'all.
Like, I
Right.
see y'all. You know,
Let me get these
we
first.
right. We watched him dislocate his finger, watched him pop it back into place, and then go back.
Yeah.
Like Kobe couldn't be hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so to be in this state to where the Mamba mentality can't save you, your toughness can't save you, your drive can't save you, your like none of this can save you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And everything that you've taught your daughter and everything else, it can't save you. You know, I can't imagine.
Ugh.
Um, and so and just he was a beast in just everything that he did. And so like two of my favorite commercials, one being the one that he had with Kanye West when he was doing like the motivational speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and like Kanye was like, well, how many records do I gotta break? He was like, more records. He was like, what do I gotta do to be? He's like, but I'm the best, right?
Yeah.
And Kobe looks at him. He says, but are you a different animal and the same beast?
Mm.
Right. And it was like it was supposed to be funny and a joke, and it was. And then Kanye was like, what the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? but but Kobe went and then he was a different animal, but the same
Same
beast.
piece. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, damn. But my absolute favorite Kobe commercial was when Jalen Rose was talking shit on Twitter about Kobe's statue. I forgot what he said, but he was saying some things. And so they had this ESPN commercial where Jalen was walking into this restaurant, and then all of a sudden you hear Jalen, and it was Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen was like, he was like, what's up? He was like, hey, he was like, yo, that stuff I said on Twitter, man, he was like, oh, I don't pay attention to that stuff. And so the waiter comes, and it's like, can I bring you a drink? He was like, yeah, give me a dirty martini. And the waiter goes, how many olives? And he looks at Jalen, he goes, 81. and then like the camera just keep like, and he's stone faced him, and like he's looking at it's on Kobe. Kobe's like yeah, and then they're looking at Jalen. Jalen's like, really? And it's just going back and forth. And so the waiter finally breaks the tension. It's like really? He was like, nah, I'm just playing, just two. He goes, joke for him. He gets it.
He gets it.
He gets it.
Yeah. And we got to see more of his personality and his humor as time went on. And I think those who didn't love him.
Are
Well, there are some
crazy.
people that are just haters. That's just what it is. But then there were people who were, Laker fans that didn't necessarily care for him because they were trying to find that connection, right? Like
Right.
you have Magic, and then you have Shaq, and you have people with personalities, and then they're like, well, what kind of personality is this? He just wants to play basketball. In Hollywood.
Well, I'll say that he did try to rhyme. He did try to rap.
Well,
And we're glad that he didn't continue that. Like that's not your ministry, bro.
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't a beast at everything.
Yeah, not at all. Not all things, but he tried.
But he tried. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be scared to try. And then, the fashion game. I remember that spread he did in an all white with that crazy ass hat. And then them I forgot what number, them Adidas that look like them space shoes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's definitely had some
right. But I guess I meant like he didn't have distractions. Like when it was the
Mhm.
season, he was playing basketball. Not that he only did basketball, but Shaq was,
He got a whole record label, an album
yeah,
coming out, some
going on tour with
movies.
the Fushnikins or
Yeah,
whatever.
like
So,
I heard stories where people had to stop Shaq from doing certain things because of his brand and his image. Like
mm,
he wanted to come out on stage and doing some wild stuff, and they were like, "You can't do it. You're Shaq." like, like, bro, you play at Disneyland
yeah,
when he was with
right.
Orlando, and
Orlando.
then yeah, it
Yeah.
was yeah. So Shaq was a wild boy, but yeah. So shout out, rest in peace, rest in heaven, rest in power to Kobe and Gigi, um, and the families that were lost.
All of
I'm
them.
sorry that we did
Yeah.
not gather the names to name those names, but to all that were lost in that horrible tragedy, and it's unfortunate sometimes that, but understandable how the family members and the teammates that were lost, like they get lost under the shadow of having passed alongside Kobe Bryant, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like we get it, but I was Kobe, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
moving on and shit, more tragic news.
Yeah.
Regina King um lost her son to suicide this week. And yeah, like I don't
Yeah. When I
even.
read that, my stomach just sank. I mean, I have an actual friend who lost their son the same way. So I just was like, oh my gosh, the unimaginable. And even if you have other children, I'm sure it's still gut wrenching. Uh, but also, people pointing out like this is her only child.
Mhm.
And I know that I was watching, I don't know, have you seen, I think it's called 7 Seconds on Netflix. She played a role
Mhm.
where she, the character lost their son to police murder. And
Mhm.
so, she was just talking about like in the promo of the project, like how it's something that she almost didn't do the project because it was something that she would never want to experience. And so all of that was like kind of swirling in my brain when I heard about it, on top of the fact that there are so many people that are in pain and struggling, some out loud, but many silently.
Mhm.
And the state of the world right now with COVID in particular, how that is that much harder for people.
Mhm.
And I don't know that we consistently hold space for people in our lives. Like anytime something like this happens, people are like, "Oh my God, check on your friends." You
Mhm.
never know what's going, which is true, but how often do we actually do it?
Mhm.
And then if somebody says, I'm not okay, then what? Right?
Right.
Because the very first thing that we want to do is get people to okay, because it's uncomfortable. If you
Mhm.
say, Andrea, I am struggling, I don't know what to do right now, I don't even want to be here right now, I'd be like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
and I just think like the average person would want to get you to be okay. Right. And so that's when we get into like, you have so much to live for and everybody loves you. And it's all true. But is that what you need most in
Mhm.
that moment?
Yeah, and that's what I call toxic positivity,
Hmm.
right? And I talked about this instance where that became real to me when I was talking and venting to my dad not long ago, just last year. Um, I was venting to my dad about some stuff that I was going through, and it was mostly like financial stuff, like just hemorrhaging money and having to pay out and shell out all kinds of money for different things like at once. And I was like, damn, I don't, I got it. This is going on, and this is going on, and this is going on. And he was like, well, look on the bright side.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have the money to pay. And I had the money and whatever, but like it was allocated for different things, and that's not what and I was just having a moment where I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I needed to be able to feel. And so to tell me, look on the bright side, or don't complain, or stop bellyache, that kind of thing, it felt like you're invalidating the feeling, right? And telling me
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't feel the way I feel. But the reality is, I do. And so when people are going through things, I think it's a knee jerk, and a lot of people mean well to try to get them to okay. But
Yeah.
that's not always the path to okay. Sometimes people need to lean into these feelings.
Yeah.
It's like,
True.
no, like sometimes it's tell people it's okay to not be okay.
Be okay.
Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people feel guilty for not being okay because they feel like I should be okay. And I just had
Mm-hmm.
this conversation
Or I don't
yesterday.
want to bother you with the fact that I'm not okay.
Right. And so even if you're talking to somebody and you happen to step in it by asking somebody how they're doing and they tell you the truth, it's not
Yeah.
your job to try to pull them out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your job to be just listen. Like, well, hey, do you need to talk about it? You want to talk it through? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to be heard, and sometimes I can process through their own uh
Mm-hmm.
mental state. You know what I mean? And sometimes validate their feelings. It's like, yeah, I can, that's valid. You know what? It's okay. I can see why you can feel that. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's about how we respond to the feelings that makes the difference. You
Yeah.
know what I
And
mean?
it can be hard. I
Mm-hmm.
remember, and I'm very rarely at a loss for words, but I think once, we were in this pandemic thing and the deaths kept coming and they were hitting certain people like multiples. It wasn't like, oh, you know, 10 people I knew all lost one person. It
Mm-hmm.
was starting to be like one person could almost lose 10 people. It was just like every
Right.
time I talk to you, there's a loss, there's a loss. And then it was just like, oh my God, what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? This is not, my grandma was 99,
Mm-hmm.
and she again passed away peacefully in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry
Shout
for your
out Betty
loss. My
White.
shout right, condolences, love and prayers. This is, my otherwise healthy mother, father, and then our grandmother, sister, like
Mm-hmm.
wipes out the whole family. And I think we all found ourselves, and probably still do, like not knowing what to say. And one thing that is okay is to say that,
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I think people would rather you be honest, right? Like, I'm here. I don't know what to say. There's absolutely nothing I'm sure that I can do, but I am here. If you
Mm-hmm.
just want to sit on the phone and yell
Mm-hmm.
and scream, you want to cry it out, if you want to pray, you want to do all of the above, like,
Mm-hmm.
I am here. The best thing that I believe that we can do at this point in time is connect
Yeah.
and just be there for the people that we say we love. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't require words. It's, if you're in a safe situation where you can actually visit somebody, just go sit on the
Mm-hmm.
couch.
Right. And sometimes I ask, how can I show up for you?
Right. If they're able to tell you, that's even better. Sometimes
Yeah.
folks don't know. But
Yeah.
yes,
Sometimes they
that'd be
don't know.
even better. That'd
Yeah.
be
So
even
it's like,
better.
how can I show up for you? That's like, don't like sometimes anything I can do, like,
Yeah.
that's like you may not be capable of doing that, but sometimes how can I be present? How can I show up for
Hmm.
you? You know what I mean? And don't extend yourself in areas that you are unable to extend yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that can be detrimental, to the whole relationship. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, yeah, it's tough. So shout out to Regina King, and we're praying for you.
And his
Um,
dad too. I know it's the
yeah,
same thing kind of with Kobe. You just like, oh, Regina, and he had a daddy too. So
yeah,
to the entire family, but definitely the
right.
parents that have lost their child,
Mm-hmm,
and I assume have a lot of questions and things
mm-hmm,
that they regrets and no, we should have done this and what if we would have done this, and so just really praying for their peace of mind and this journey that they're on.
right. Oh, so yeah. Um, so hard shift.
Ooh, I'm like, "Ooh, I need a tissue." Go ahead.
Right, right, right. Hard
Hardship.
shift. Hard shift. So,
Mm-hmm.
podcaster, YouTube personality,
Mm. Mm.
and world famous wine sipper. She don't call it tea, she call it wine. Tasha K, who was best known in recent months for breaking the whole story about Derek Jackson.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in length on this show. And while we aren't Derek Jackson fans, that information was very valuable and you know uh did us some good. However, we also did mention we did not like how she did her
Mm-hmm.
show. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like we said then,
It was like, can I
we
get
weren't
the abridged version of this so I don't have to
right,
watch this?
right, just making a living off of destroying other people.
Yeah.
And but those
And with lies, like it's one
mhm.
thing, and it's still, mm,
Even though the Derek Jackson
like
thing turned out to be true.
that's true. Well, I'm talking about the story that we're about to
Mhm.
talk about because
Right.
she admitted that she lied. But I'm just saying, like, it's one thing to exploit people and their lives and their mistakes or things kind of coming out about them for you to gain sponsorships and views and clicks and all that kind of stuff when it's true. That's absolutely one thing to do that if you
Mhm.
choose to do that, but it is a whole different animal, okay, for you to lie on somebody and create buzz and whatever has come with that on the back of somebody, and it not be true.
For
So for right for money,
mhm. Hold
and
on.
now it's going to cost you money.
Right. I'm sorry. I had a whole commercial start playing in my ear.
Oh, okay. I'll look at your face like, oh, maybe he
Yeah,
said
I'm
anything.
like, what is that? No, I had the score to the Lakers game that I wasn't paying attention to, and then an ad just started playing, and I'm looking at you like, is that coming from you? Where's the
Oh yeah, I had no clue. So
right,
we weren't
right.
a part of that, were we? Like, no,
Yeah.
none of our
And I didn't
viewers
so I
were
didn't
on
hear
part
that
of that.
last part that you said because this whole Gillette commercial was playing in my
Oh, I
ear.
was just saying it's one thing to create a platform and profit off of
Hmm.
somebody's pain when it's true,
Hmm.
but it's a whole nother animal to do that, and it's a story that you fabricated, puffed up, made up, whatever. Um, and so yeah, she's learning a very tough lesson and actually was sued by Cardi B.
Hmm.
Um,
To the
and
tune of
right,
1.2 million.
$1 million. And I mean, I don't know how lucrative those Adam and Eve sponsorships are, but
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
she got some coins she
Somebody
got to
said. I
pay.
think somebody said she fell out in the courtroom or something. Like I don't know if it was when they read
That's
the.
not funny, but I
No,
would.
oh no, it's funny to me for damn that because you don't get to the so and I have actually a caveat to what you said as far as like even if it's true, just because it's true, don't make it your business,
No,
right?
that's no, I
Yeah.
absolutely. But I'm just saying, if you're
Mhm.
going to do it, at least let it be the truth. For some
Right. Well,
people,
yeah,
that's
but
good enough for them. Like, is it true?
yeah,
And
but
they
I'm
run
still
with
thinking
it.
about like the person. Okay, so zero sympathy for Derek Jackson, and here's why I don't have a problem with that. Is because
Ah,
you
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 don't like
position
them.
well no because you position yourself as somebody who doesn't do any of the things that you're talking about and even goes as far as shitting on people that do. And now you're the
Mhm.
same dude that you supposedly saving women from, and all it's like, oh, I'm the perfect guy, and just man bashing all the time for personal gain and lying. It's cap.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And so you spewing all this bullshit for your personal gain, and then you get exposed because you the same nigga that you warning all these women against. And then you
Mhm.
lie when you got caught. You didn't even come clean. You lied about the situations. And then more information came out, you only came clean when you was backed into a corner and then receipts started getting dropped. You know.
Yeah, but somebody
And
even
so
still would say, I'm not going to touch that. And then there are some folks who would say, hey, it's like whether you agree with what he did or not, there are people who go, hey, it's my job, or I've made it my job because it's how I collect my coins to report what's going on. Now, what I
mhm,
think, and this it's not even a job that we haven't made it our job, but since we're going live now, it's like, okay, well, it makes sense to talk about things that are happening right now, right?
mhm,
But I think the difference, or at least I hope, the difference between us and somebody like that, or even those that are reporting true quote unquote gossip,
mhm,
is that it's like, okay, here's the story, but we absolutely work to talk about like how it looks in practical life, right? Because we're
mhm,
not celebrities. So it's crazy for me to try to talk about a lifestyle that I don't know.
mhm,
But this particular situation, what are the thoughts that, somebody could be having? How could we respond? How could we respond differently? Like, I really like that we try to apply it to life
mhm.
and not beat down on somebody or make them feel worse than they already do. Now we did have a little fun with the whole Derek Jackson thing with the bonnet and true tea, true tea. But they put
I
their
mean,
own
but they
self
did
out
that
there
though.
like
They
that.
did
Yeah,
that.
that's what I
That
was
was
like.
something they did.
They
We was
put
just
their
making
own
fun
self
of what
out
they
there.
did. We wasn't breaking you, spilling tea and all that other stuff and
Yeah,
gossip.
no
Like, we're not a
exclusive.
gossip show.
No, not at
We
all.
just
Not
we
at
just
all.
discuss the topics. You know what
That's
I'm
it.
saying?
That's it. And not, yeah,
Um,
not even necessarily the people. It's just like this, like, I don't like this thing, or hey, I like this thing.
right. And
This person
so
just so happened to do it.
right. And so just like, hey, I'm gonna make up shit because it's gonna make me money. And she didn't think that, and the crazy part is,
And she got a cease and desist, like,
and didn't care,
and did not care. Did
you
not.
know. And then I saw some video where she was like, she didn't listen to what I said. I didn't like, you still, instead of just saying, oh, my bad, now like it's gonna hit them pockets. And Cardi probably didn't even blink at the cost it was for them lawyers. As a matter of fact, that
Mm-hmm.
1.2 million that she won, Cardi ain't blinking at that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? She's like, that's lunch money. But for
Right.
you, for you
That's
gonna
what I said.
feel
I would
that.
have fell out too.
Right. And Cardi, the crazy part is Cardi can walk out. Didn't she give who was she dating? Was it Offset? I don't know the Migos. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah, that's her. Yeah.
didn't she give him like $1 million
Offset.
for his birthday or
I
something?
think so. I think that was the gift. I was thinking that in my head. Like, I feel like I heard she
Right.
gifted that away. It might have been
Right.
multiple
So
millions, but yeah, at
imagine
least
this.
one.
Imagine this. If this ain't the biggest fuck you, to sue this chick, get the money, and then just give it to somebody. Like, here you go. Like, I don't even need it. Like, I just broke you, and then I'm gonna give it away. Like, just because I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really not a fan because that's in line with Wendy Williams and all that to me, like who's made her career, um,
Who is
and
also suffering right now, child.
right, and all that shit comes back to you. Like, look at all the lives that you've destroyed, or at least caused turmoil in for your personal gain. And then the minute that you had something going on, you want empathy and grace and stuff, like you falling out and passing out on damn TV and everything else, and you want people to respect your privacy and everything. But like, it's just the audacity of certain people, You know what I mean? Like you offer no privacy, no compassion, no empathy to anyone, but you always requesting it. And that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Sister Tasha,
More power to you. I want to see how what the next episode is like though. I kind of want to tune in, but then I kind of don't want to contribute to.
Well, they were talking about, well, I won't say they. I heard another YouTuber talk about whether or not, she's even going to be able to keep her channel as a result
Mm,
because, you can imagine if this was like TV generally, somebody gets on your station saying something crazy, you're
mhm.
usually lumped in with what happened. So I haven't heard that YouTube was named or anything happened to them, but they may not allow her to continue to use their platform,
Mhm.
and that's what she gonna need it for that 1.2.
She gonna need something like if she has it in the bank or whatever. But they gonna come after it.
Yeah.
They gonna
Well,
get the
I'll
points
wait
one
to
way or the
see what
other.
somebody else reports. I won't necessarily because it's her voice is I
Her
it's
whole
hard.
get down. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
hard for me.
Right. I think the only thing she ever said or did that I could actually respect was her response when she had Kevin Samuels on her show.
Oh, okay.
And did you see that?
I can't remember. If I
Well,
did, I didn't watch it all the way
like,
through. I'm sure.
well, people were like getting on her case, asking how come she didn't drag Kevin Samuels when he was on the show, and her response was
Probably
like,
because she couldn't.
"Well, I mean, there's that, but it was like
It's like,
there was well, no, she was like I invited him on my show.
oh,
I
I did
invited
see that.
him
Yeah, as a
like he
guest.
was a
Yeah,
guest, and so I'm not going to invite somebody and then drag them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I that made perfect sense, and I can respect it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't think she could have drug if she
At
tried,
all, at
you
all.
know. But it's crazy. Kevin Samuels has become like a dating red flag, like on dating sites. Like, oh, if you follow Kevin
You
Samuels,
on that Kevin Samuels?
like just swipe. But I mean, same energy. I probably would say if you follow Derek Jackson, I'm
Hey, you gotta know what you're willing to deal with.
right, right.
Know what
Um,
you're willing to deal with.
I can dig it. So
So
I
what's
don't
going
know.
on? Are the Lakers winning? My device is
I
occupied
I
right
had to
now.
I had to turn it off because I had ads playing in my ear. Let me see if I can go back and see. They were up pretty big,
Oh, well, praise the Lord.
in at least double digits or whatnot.
Okay.
Shout out to those of y'all who are watching the game along with the uh the broadcast. Yeah, we won by 10.
Oh, good. Good, good, good.
Right. I mean, that was without Kyrie or KD, of course.
I was about to say who's on the floor.
Yeah. AD
Nobody.
came back tonight and then Kyrie and KD were out. So
Oh,
it
well.
was us against James Harden pretty much. But it's still a W. We at 500 at least right now.
I'm gonna
That's
say we need all of them.
we need. Look, it's been so bad. Even the Laker group that it has been dry.
It
Like
it's been quiet. I saw something happen today. I was like, oh shoot, somebody's talking.
right, one comment, but at least we got the dub. Hopefully we can turn it around after this All-Star break, and I'm wondering if we're gonna make any trades or
Changes.
changes or
Oh
whatnot.
gosh, I
So
hope so.
yeah,
I hope so.
we'll see. But on that note,
All
we can
right.
move into your final thoughts
We did our hour.
for the week. Yeah, we did our hour. Y'all
Yeah.
was
Well,
y'all was quiet today, y'all.
I mean, not a peep, but I mean the numbers are holding.
Hmm.
They didn't decrease past a certain point. So those that are
Y'all,
on are on.
yeah, y'all there, but like, damn.
They're just not talking. So that's fine. Really, just as a reminder, we are on hiatus from our recorded episodes, our actual podcast episodes. So we ended the year actually like around what Christmas or right before
Mhm.
Christmas, and wanted to take some time to just chill and live. And as you know, we both celebrated birthdays and all of that kind of stuff. And so we are gearing up to bring you season two. But in the meantime, we've gone live here pretty much every week
Mhm.
um, since the hiatus, just to connect with you. It's really been our desire, but
Y'all
I don't know.
spoiled.
Maybe y'all don't want to be connected, and, and we just do recorded episodes, and y'all
Yeah.
just y'all can
Right.
just hit us in the comments. We'll chat with you,
Right.
um, and so let us know. It's no my feelings aren't hurt. As far as I tell you
Right.
guys, I'll go to
Look.
sleep. And also, Twitter Spaces is a thing. If you just want to hear our voices, you don't want to see us anymore. But yeah, we're interested in the format that works best for those of you who are dedicated watchers and listeners. So if you do love live, let us know. But also show up and holler at us. We appreciate it. But also just keep your eyes and ears open for the announcement of the season two drop. And
Mhm.
yeah.
And there it is. So I don't have much, look, we love y'all. We appreciate those who are always hanging in there with us and supporting the
With
show
love.
and have been. It was a somber kind of episode, just reflecting on, on Kobe, and shout out and condolences to Regina King's family for their loss. And I guess a message to those who are looking to enter this space, the podcasting space or the blogger sphere. Be responsible, y'all. I know people want to make money and people want notoriety, but it's all money ain't good money. And if your money is made by
Yeah.
having to tear someone else down, I'm not certain how you can sleep with that. You know what I mean? Or how
Mm.
you can live with that. It's one thing to talk about things that have happened, but when you seek to tear someone down to elevate yourself, I can't respect that. And a lot of people can't either. And I think it's sad that we live in a society that thrives on such negativity, and the fact that millionaires are being made from such actions. Like, I think I sent you the clip for I can't remember the name of the podcast, the one with Lisa Ray and all of them, the
All
Vegas
the
profiles.
queens,
Yeah,
cocktails with queens.
right. And so what's her name? Claudia, I think she was
Hmm.
her name is, but she was talking about there was this blogger for 3 years, like, just dogged her every month and lying on her and calling her home wrecker and everything else.
Mm.
And basically was just like, ruined her. And then she finally reached out to him, like, why are you doing this? And he was like, he was like, I made a lot of money off of you, like, because they, like, people that hated her put him up to it, and
Oh, okay.
drug her, and he was, you know making bread, and yet she was literally crying herself to sleep at night. So,
Mm.
y'all, there's better ways to make money than trying to destroy someone else, because a lot of
Yeah.
people can't come back from that. Like, when you destroy their brand and their good name, it's hard to come back from that,
Right.
so.
And even if you don't destroy their brand or their good name, destroying people's feelings,
Hmm.
we don't. I don't think we stop to really consider like they're people too. Like even just going in the comments, like we talked about it with Riley and Deshaun, like just
Hmm.
going in somebody's comments and expressing your opinion. Sometimes, I mean, especially like, hey, I wouldn't do this. How about that, right? Like, ooh,
Hmm.
shout out to y'all, but that, I would never do that. That's
Right.
fine.
Right.
But oh, he must be living off her. She must, like all of that kind of stuff is unnecessary. And then just imagine for you
Hmm.
found somebody that you love, you want to spend the rest of your life with, and there are literally people, just imagine, like you walk outside and there are people just screaming these kind of things at you. That's kind of
Hmm.
what's going on.
Right.
They're minding their business and they're getting a barrage of whatever thrown
Right.
on them. So
Yeah. And people just don't really consider that there's real people behind on the other side of these screens.
Yeah.
You know, you'll
They
go
just
on and you make
talking.
your comment, and then
Log off.
you log off, you
Hmm.
know, and you're not really thinking about the life that you affect. Kind of like the lady that went viral because of her teeth. And so it was a picture at Walmart, and one of the Walmart employees, her boyfriend had came to their job and was proposing, and so like they were all surrounded and taking pictures. And so this lady, she was, you know, she was a Walmart employee just observing her friend getting proposed to, and she's sitting there taking a
Hmm.
picture. And so everyone completely ignored the proposal and zoomed in on her because she had like really big teeth, you know, and like, you know, it
Oh.
wasn't, she didn't have the best grill. But like it went viral and the internet was just going in, you know, and this
Oh.
is, you know, and she felt horrible. Like she got her children are seeing this, and her children's friends are seeing this, and they're calling her Mr. Ed and all kind of stuff. And
Mm.
then the memes come and all this other things. And so um an oral surgeon had taken compassion on her and uh fixed her teeth for free, you know,
That's dope.
and everything else, so that, you know, she and gave her a new smile. And she was saying, like, I don't care. She's like, I've been living with this my whole life, but my children, you know.
Hmm.
So that was, you just never know. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've never done it. Like I snuck a picture of somebody and posted it for laughs. You know, I've
Hmm.
done it in the past, but you know, you gotta grow and you learn. And um, you know, I if I've ever hurt someone's feelings in doing that, because I don't know how far those pictures have gone, because we put them in the cloud, and they're
Right.
gone, you know.
Hmm.
So, you know, you live and you grow, but y'all like don't destroy
Oh,
people.
look at us maturing.
Right. And I'm sorry for what I will do, because I'll probably do some shit later
I was
too.
like, now I've done some things, but I generally try to keep mine in the group chat.
Hmm.
I don't know that I've put no posts out on the internet, but either way, we won't be hypocrites. Like we all
Right.
strive to do better and just consider others. Like I think that's the
Right.
main thing. So,
Love thy neighbor, y'all.
amen.
Right. Well, y'all, this has been another episode of the Crossroads. We thank y'all for joining us. We thank you for the comment.
Yeah. Hey, we got one. Yes.
We did get a comment, but you
Shout
know,
out to Shannon.
we see
Welcome.
y'all watch, we see the numbers though. So we
Yeah.
appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. So until next time, y'all, always remember,
Be
be
free
free
to
to be
be
you.
you.
We love y'all.
Bye. Bye, IG. And YouTube.